And hello again, and welcome to America Can We Talk, and to today's First Five. I'm Debbie Georgatos. Shockingly, I actually have Democrat friends. Seriously, I have Democrat friends, liberal friends, and I have women sometimes say to me, in a very serious and even respectful way, how can you vote for Trump in 2020? Given where we are, we're less than a week away from the election, I want to just run through that. I want to do a basic pitch to you and why a woman could vote for Trump. I did vote for him in 2016 also. As I told you many times in the past, I didn't support him in the primary. I had another choice, someone I'd known a long time, Senator Ted Cruz, when he was in the primary, but I, of course, voted for President Trump. But I want to talk about how important it is to vote for President Trump in this election cycle in 2020. I've been through many times on my show what the American left is up to, what they are doing to this country, how the rise of the Democrat Socialist Party, the radical Marxist left in this country that used to be a little, crazy people in a corner segment of the Democrat Party, now owns the agenda of the Democrat Party. Where the Democrat Party would take this country is kind of like where Chavez took Venezuela, where Castro took Cuba. It is a very dangerous path the American left is on, or as my friend frequently reminds me to say, the anti-American left is on, a very dangerous path. But those are just reasons to not vote for the left. Big enough reasons, important reasons all by themselves. No one who loves freedom in America should be wanting to vote for the Democrat Party of today. I'm going to tell you why I actually am excited. I can't wait to vote for President Trump. Number one, I want to feel secure in a country that has actually ordered liberty. I want there to be police. I want there to be police departments who feel responsible to take care of the citizens, to enforce the law. The left has lost their minds on this defund police. I understand that police are not always perfect, and sometimes things happen and require investigations, and we do those things, and we investigate, and we figure out if an officer may have acted inappropriately, and we go after, we prosecute them if that's what's called for. But the whole concept of defunding the police is throwing away ordered liberty. I support President Trump because he supports the police support him, and we support ordered liberty. I want a country with borders that actually mean something, that define the United States of America different from any other country in the world, separated by a physical border with Mexico in the south, Canada in the north, and I want that country to have sovereignty. The left was on the path of surrendering American sovereignty to various international organizations and via trade deals with other countries, surrendering our robust economy, surrendering America's sovereignty. I want the reinstatement, the resurgence of the love of idea that America is a unique, extraordinary country in all of world history. And it needs sovereignty to function. I support President Trump because he supports America as a sovereign nation. I want a country where our military is strong, where they're sufficiently funded and supplied so they can be strong to defend us. Because the stronger and better funded and better trained they are, the less we'll need them. We watched under 8 years under President Obama the diminishing of funding of the military. We have the left disrespectful of the military and their place in the world. I even love what President Trump has done in terms of readjusting foreign policy, that we don't send American troops around the world to be police for the rest of the world or to try to make the rest of the world like America. We got too involved for too long in various international skirmishes, wars, whatever you want to call them, and the idea of carefully treasuring the sacrifice of America's military and only investing troops in places where it's needed. Brilliant stroke. At the same time, we have the president strong on the need, as we all watched him in the 4 years since when he came to office, essentially eviscerating ISIS, which had begun to develop a caliphate under the weak military leadership of the Obama administration. I want the radical Muslims scared of America. I want them scared to create a caliphate. I want them to know we're watching them, but I don't need our troops all over the world. I love the military policy of President Trump, and it is a fundamental role of the commander-in-chief to create that standard, create the message of the military, and he has done a stellar and perfect job. I want school choice. I want moms in the lowest income communities in America to have some choice over where their precious children are educated. We cannot fix America and low income communities if we continue to force students in those low income communities to go to schools basically dictated by their zip code, dictated by the teachers' unions deciding what is taught. And you end up with these poor children with no chance to thrive, no chance to get out of those neighborhoods and into better schools. School choice is really a choice to defend mothers, to defend families and their protection, their desire to nurture their children and make their children capable of moving forward in life with the best educational platform possible. I want health care dictated and controlled by the free market. I understand there has to be some regulation in the healthcare industry. I do not want socialized medicine. I've shared enough stories with you on this show from people who are forced into the healthcare system in socialized medicine countries like Canada, even worse, like England. I want healthcare freedom. I want doctors and patients deciding healthcare. I do not want to have a federal government dictating more and more of the healthcare, the entire availability of healthcare and health insurance in this country. I want freedom, free markets applied to the healthcare system. I want, of all things, I want freedom. I want capitalism. I do not want the socialist left. I understand that Bernie Sanders didn't win the Democrat primary, but it doesn't make any difference. The entire left in this country is consumed with socialistic ideas, policies, missions. Their platform is filled with socialistic ideas. I want America, the robust free market America. That's why I support President Trump. I love when he said in one of the State of the Unions, America is not going to become a socialist nation. Women in socialist nations suffer. The idea that somehow you're going to put a policy in place where anyone who's ever studied it can tell you people in socialist countries are miserable. It makes their lives miserable. They do not have the abundance, the opportunity that American women have. It is cruel to suggest that somehow imposing socialism, which always leads to communism, it certainly leads to this cultural Marxism we're watching in this world. The idea that you're somehow helping women by trying to urge we should go to socialism, completely lunatic. I support President Trump because he supports freedom, free markets, and the entire concept of a free market, robust economy. I love his support of low taxes. I love his support of energy independence. We're never going to get there under the left's plans for energy. I love his idea of deregulation. I love the idea he brought jobs home from foreign countries. I love that he decided put America's focus on how much of America's manufacturing is being done in China, manufacturing of American medications being done in China, the danger of us, the American people, dependent on China for medicine. This is a president who has pointed out that the American people deserve to have a reliable source of medications. We need to be bringing manufacturing medications home to America, and more broadly, restoring the Rust Belt, restoring the working class of America, giving them jobs in this country, which you can't have if you send all your jobs abroad. I love he restored that. I love his reverence for the Constitution. I love the Bill of Rights. I want to have the entire Bill of Rights actually protected by the president. If you actually study what the left says, you talk about the Democrat Party's platform, you talk about Joe Biden's platform, you talk about Kamala Harris, you lose the protections of the Constitution because they just don't believe in it. They actually don't like free speech. They really don't like freedom of religion, and they most definitely do not support the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. I want a free country where the Bill of Rights are robustly protected from the presidency, from the Congress, from the courts. And last, I will tell you my aversion to anything on the left, my unwillingness to ever support the left in this country, is because they talk to women like we're stupid. I am so tired of the leftist messaging about women, which is you're all a bunch of victims, you are helpless, and the best thing you can do is vote as a victim to give more power to the federal government to regulate your life, and control your life, and nanny state you to death. American women should be insulted by the way the left talks to and about about women. It's insulting. I support President Trump because he supports treating women as capable and equal and eligible to provide input to him to serve at high levels of his administration. He treats women with respect and not as helpless victims as the left does. Bottom line, I support actions and results. I know the left can come up with really clever slogans and really homey, friendly sounding slogans. At the end of the day, the left is about taking away freedom in America. That's what's on the ballot in 2020. As I talked about at my conference at South Fork Ranch a few weeks ago, September 26th, great conference, was freedom itself is on the ballot in 2020. You can't have the America, the beautiful country has founded, and have the left, today's Democrat Party, you can't have them in charge and still hold on to America the free. It's one or the other. And that, my very fine friends, is today's First Five.